Very good evening, Mr. Fardeen. This is Program Chair, Cybersecurity. Welcome to the event.
Thank you so much, Dr. Saravanan. It's a nice thing to come back to my university virtually only to get
Yes.
to help around with the people who are there, the new budding engineers, and definitely I will try to
Yeah,
share as much
expecting
as
you to be
possible.
here. Yeah.
Yes, surely. Okay, so let's get started with the session, shall I?
A very warm and heartfelt welcome to everyone present here. I, Samar Sajad, and my friend Anushka Ranjan will be your host for tonight's event. I welcome our respected club coordinator, Dr. Sarvanandi, and our assistant coordinator, Dr. G. Prabhukan. Both of them are the strong foundation on which OWASP VIT Bhopal stands. I would like to introduce you to the president of our club, Mr. Tuhin Bose, and our vice president, Mr. Chitrak Chakraborty. Two phenomenal Two phenomenal minds working and supporting our club. Tonight, the OWASP Club has brought to you a life-changing webinar. We are all deeply interested in cybersecurity and often find ourselves stuck between how to start, what to learn, which career will be beneficial for me, and most importantly, whom should I ask for expert advice? Well, OWASP Club has got you covered. Tonight, we have a very special guest among us who is not only an expert of this field, but also our very own cybersecurity alumni. Without any further delay, I introduce you to Mr. Fardeen Ahmed.
Thank you
A
so much for
cybersecurity engineer in the banking sector with a passion for lifelong learning in the field of computer science, programming, system architecture, network, and security. Mr. Ahmed has carved a remarkable path in the realm of cybersecurity. Mr. Ahmed's expertise spans across various domains, including product security, web application security, Android security, API security, and cloud security. With a strong background in threat and vulnerability management, along with proficiency in programming languages such as Python and cryptography, he has made significant contributions to the field. Currently serving as a full-time cybersecurity engineer in the banking sector.
Currently serving as a full-time cybersecurity engineer in the banking sector, Mr. Ahmed has been instrumental in safeguarding the organization's digital assets and ensuring a robust cybersecurity posture. Prior to this role, he has also held positions as a production operations specialist and a part-time ethical hacker, where he honed these skills, penetration testing and bug bounty. Outside his professional commitments, Mr. Ahmed has demonstrated a deep commitment to the security community. He has worked as a freelance security researcher and a triager at HackerOne, diligently finding and reporting security issues to make the digital landscape safer for all. Additionally, as an open bug bounty ethical hacker, he has contributed to securing various companies by identifying and mitigating vulnerabilities. Mr. Ahmed's passion for cybersecurity led him to an apprenticeship at Honeywell, where he worked with the safety and product security team. In this time, he conducted vulnerability assessments and penetration testing on both software and hardware products, providing effective solutions for identified vulnerabilities. It is evident from his professional journey that Mr. Ahmed is not only a high skilled cybersecurity engineer, but also an individual deeply committed to making the digital world safer for everyone. Mr. Ahmed, we're delighted to have you with us tonight. As a junior, we are thrilled to hear about your journey and we look forward to taking great career advice from you. Without further ado, I invite you, Mr. Ahmed, to take the platform and begin the seminar.
Thank you so much for a very warm introduction about myself. In fact, some of them I personally forgot with time. Never mind. So yeah, the introduction has been given. So those are the things that I have contributed to. What the things that have not been covered up or it has been, everything has been said, most of the things, but I would suggest that I was just 2 to 3 years back, I was just like the students as you all are. I was just like you. I'm not a very special child or anything as such, or God's favorite person that he helped me out with everything. No, he helped. It's a very simple thing that the Almighty helps those who help themselves. It's a very simple connotation or annotation, what you say. So without delaying much of the time, let's get started. I was going to prepare, by the way, I was going to prepare the roadway and pathways and everything. But the thing was, there was some lack of time, because of which the day of this event couldn't have been adjusted. And it's okay. I respect that thing. It's okay. So never mind. Let's get started. Whenever we are seeing as what cybersecurity is all about, it has nothing to do with any particular job role, such as being a pen tester or being a red teamer or being an ethical hacker or you're being a triager, anything as such. Whenever you are watching cybersecurity as a whole, you have to see as to what is the very first thing that clicked onto you. Okay. For me personally, whenever I saw cybersecurity as a career or anything as such, it was always about how can I break a thing so that it will be easy for other person or for the organization to help it mitigate as soon as possible. That's what I thought of in the long run most of the time during the time of my college years. Okay, so during my second year, I came across a very great professor, Dr. Ajit Kumar. He told me about these different things with time. Okay, and he told me that about what cybersecurity as a whole is all about. As per my observation, I personally divided cybersecurity in three different sections. One is offensive security, another is defensive security, and the third one is the information security management or infosec management. Okay, very clear. It's simple. It's not easy. It's simple. So offensive security is all about breaking the security. How you break the security so that it can be patched by or can be taken up by other companies or the organization in which you are working. Everything is considered is come up with respect to breaking it as well as scanning it. Now, whenever the word scanning comes up in cybersecurity, it has nothing to do with respect to only offensive security. It comes partially in the defensive area also. So when you come up in the defensive area, it's not always about, whenever someone says that it's defensive, cybersecurity. So it's a very different thing. It's these all three, these sections, offensive, defensive, and infosec management are all together interrelated with each other. Okay. In the defensive area, we have the network security area, the network defense area, the product defense area or the product security area, as well as we go to the infrastructure and enterprise security area. So these, which consists of digital forensics, threat hunting, as well as network security with respect to packet inspection, and a lot of things are there. Okay. And the third one is the information security management that comes under vulnerability management section. That section is very crucial with respect to other two also. See, in cybersecurity, everything is in every, if I have to put it in a way, in every job role, everything is important. Okay, in every section, in anything which is innovative, it's all important. With respect to information security management or infosec management, what you have to think about, the very first thing is how a vulnerability is being disclosed to the organization. Okay, this is a very important thing, because let's face it, we are great in offensive security. Okay, we are great in defensive security. We know about how to find an issue and we know how to mitigate an issue. The problem is the people who are in the management sections, the people who are going to explain it to the people or to the client, they should be known, they should know the issues in the most simplistic way. Okay, and as a tester, a pen tester, or a developer, or bounty hunter, or as a DFIR specialist or threat intel person, even if you make it the most simplistic way, it's not grasped easily by the people who are working in the management area. So suppose if you go to any bank and you say that your product, for example, your infrastructure is being DDoSed by a very great botnet section that has been created by a dark web person. They won't understand much. Now they can, because the information and all those trainings and other things going on. 5 years or 10 years back, they don't know. Even there are many banks that they still don't know. Before, when a friend of mine was an auditor, he went to ICICI Bank and he told him, ICICI Bank people say, what is DDoS? They don't know about it. You, all the people who are in the seminar, you all might know that how the things are working on. Okay, you know how what is a DDoS, how it happens, and what are the things that can be done. But it doesn't. Many of the people don't know about it. But when you say that your network is being hacked, this much only, and they'll get to know, oh man, oh my god, how to do it, and all those things. Those unnecessary tension will be created and all those things. So the information security management section people or vulnerability management people try to make it as simple as possible, so that the people who are in the leadership area make the things as clear as possible about what a vulnerability is, what are the thoughts, why this is being happening, or why any security or defense mechanism, or any kind of firewall misconfiguration or configuration, or second configuration, third stage of configuration is being done. Okay, so there are three sections. For the offensive security part, the things what you should be knowing, like I would say, as a first person, right now you are in college. Okay, so to crack a job, I would tell you all to go forward with all three parts: in offensive, defensive, and information security. You don't have to go only, okay, for example, it might be that yes, I like this part, like for example, I like ethical hacking, as I loved it. Okay, but to be in that role of an ethical hacker or a triage or anything as such, you have to make sure that you have the idea of defense as well as the information security management. Because if you don't have, you won't be able to, easily tell people about what the issue is, what the problem is. You can't do that. Okay. To go away, or I would say to do it completely in the best way possible, I would suggest to go forward with all the three sections of offensive, defensive, and information security. For offensive security and all these three, the base of all these in what do you say, the resources and everything which are present all over GitHub or Gitbucket, all those Bitbucket, all those places, there are resources. The very first thing what you should be profound with, or if you want to note it down, it should be the computer networks. Any cybersecurity person, anyone, he should be thorough with networking. He should be. Second, operating system. Third, DBMS, RDBMS, and SQL. Okay, these three comes in one category only, which consists of database management systems only. Fourth is Linux. It's very important. Why it's important? Because many people will say that no, it's not necessary. You can start to do all those things without Linux. Agreed, accepted. But that's not the point. The point is many high mainframes don't run IIS or Windows servers. They strictly run Linux, either Red Hat or anything as such. They do run Linux. So learn Linux is going to be very much helpful. And fifth one is cryptography. Why I printed out these 5 things is because of the fact that these 5 are the basic of all those three sections of cybersecurity that I have divided into offensive, defensive, and information security management. So the very first thing, for the computer networks, you should be having a thorough idea over OSI model, TCP/IP, as well as packets, and there was one more thing which was very crucial. Hardware systems. You should have basic knowledge of how routers, the topology, how it is being presented, and all those things. Okay. Whenever you are working with the computer networks, you should have basic knowledge of these things. Second is about computer operating system. You should have the idea about how caching is done, how a system caches any any input that is being done within a system. Because whenever you come in a company, whenever you come in an organization, it's going to be a very different thing as compared to right now where you are in the university. The university provides you with the best resources. They try their level best. I would say, because at the time when I was in the university, they gave us the best Wi-Fi speed. Although with time it got deteriorated, and it's okay. It happens. That's a different thing. But they provide you with the best resources. So go ahead with these things. Okay. So for networks, OSI, TCP model, then routers, switches, hubs, topologies. Topology is very important when you will be dealing with the network security and stuff. When you'll be moving towards the operating system, it's about caching, how memory caches the thing, how memory, for example, how memory can be corrupted, and how memory transfers the data from one section to another, and all those things. You have to learn it. There are hardly 4 to 5 sections in operating system that you should be learning on. I'll be sharing with you, so don't worry. I'll be sharing the OWASP VIT Bhopal Club, the complete roadmap. They'll be sharing it with you so that you can go one by one, step by step, and even you can go for the resources. You just tap it in, you can get the resources where you want to learn. Everything will be shared with you. Third one is the RDBMS, DBMS, and SQL is a pretty simple language, so I would definitely tell you more all the people to learn it. It's very simple programming language. It's generally basic. It will help you in a long run if you learn it right now. I learned it within 25 days. I learned that because, see, for me, I was not that much of a hardcore programmer kind of a person. I was just a normal guy who knew basics of cybersecurity. I knew how to deal with much more in an offensive way. Okay, like for example, breaking the security and all those things. But I would definitely, and how to use a SQL in my what do you say, favor. Like for example, using it for SQL injection and stuff. So those things I learned it, and that, see, I was able to successfully use SQL injection only because I was pretty much good with SQL. I learned more and I was able to find out more vulnerabilities with time. So I found out that this language is quite important, so I should learn it. And then fourth was Linux. I removed my Windows. Like for my system was quite low specs system, so I tried my best not to use Windows because it used to hang my system and all those things. So I dual booted it with Linux Ubuntu. First, there are many people who are using Kali. Don't do it. Don't do that thing, because Kali is one of the most vulnerable machine. If you have not, hardened the machine using different hardening softwares, never download. I did that blunder. If you want to use Kali, use it in virtual platform or virtual box, VBox or VMware, whatever it is. Learn it through that way. That's a different thing. Don't put it directly in your bare metal hardware. If you do it, make sure you hard the operating system, because 90% of the ports of that operating system is open by default. So harden that thing. Learn Linux, learn the basic commands of Linux. There is a very great book known as Linux for Beginners. It's published by Pact. Yeah, be Pact only. Those are very great. Those are that is a very great slim book that will help you, because see, many of the people right now, I am a reader. Previously, I didn't used to read a lot of books. I was much more like a video guy. That most of the people here are listening to lectures and doing all those stuff. So yeah, so learn Linux in the most simplistic way. It's available over PDF Drive and all those places. And fifth is a cryptography. For best place to learn cryptography, it's always going to be my personal area. It's going to be Hacksplaining. There you can learn a lot about cryptography. Okay. Now coming back to the career section. Okay. Now, if you want to work in the field of offensive security, the very first thing what you have to show to any interview that is going to come up with respect to cybersecurity is you know the basic of cybersecurity, and this will be applicable for all the places, information security management also, as well as for the defensive area also. You just join in. Like for example, an interview comes up to you and he asks like, what is cybersecurity? Basic things. What is a cybersecurity? What do you understand by CIA triad? What is another A that has been added up in the CIA, that is accountability? Then what is the thing? What is that? What is a VPN and how VPN is used within a network? Then they ask about basics of OSI model, and how OSI model is different from TCP model. So bypassing an interviewer is quite a simple thing, but you have to be very much firm with your basics, very much, because any interviewer at any organization wants to check your basics and want to ask your what is your work, where you want to work in as. Like for example, once you are in the company, once you have cracked the interview. Okay, so to crack the interview, and yes, learn one language, at least one language. Come on, man, it's simple. Okay, I also used to think that Java is a very hard language because I didn't used to learn Java and all those things. Yeah, I don't know Java. Okay, I knew Python. I have been programming in Python from past 2 years. I did programming. I used to script a lot. I used to create some tools. I used to share it with the people and all those things. So I learn it because programming is going to help you a lot. There are many people who will be telling you that no, there is no need to do it. Why are you doing the programming? I would definitely tell you to learn programming because in cybersecurity, if you learn programming, very simple scripting. If you know, it's a very big thing. It's a very big thing because many organizations, like in the organization where I'm also working, there are many people having a lot of experience, but they don't have that much idea of what scripting is all about. They don't. Also, whenever you will be dealing with the job roles such as operations like DevOps, or you'll be working with the DevRel, development relation areas, you need to have a strong knowledge of what programming is. You don't need to program at all much. You'll be just scripting the doubts, basic things, okay, basic programming things. You don't have to be that much thorough with it. No, you should know how to solve a problem, basics of logic solving and all those things. Okay, and these things you can definitely get it from Geeks for Geeks. You can learn it by heart. Okay, you can, and it's very simple thing. Every day you have to give just 1 hour or just half an hour to one question to solve a problem. Okay, like to solve one problem with respect to programming language, just one every day. But remember, don't leave that thing. Every day one program or one problem, and you have to solve it using Python or any scripting language, Golang or Rust, whatever it is. Okay, whatever it is, no problem with that. Because at the end an interview wants to check your problem solving ability. There will be many JDs that is going to come. There will be many job description that will be very tempting with respect to what the packages. They're going to be 15 lakh of packages, 20 lakh, 25 lakh, crore. There will be a lot of it. Okay. I joined the company with the least amount, with a decent amount of package, I would say. Decent. It was a decent amount. It was so decent that being a single person, it's amped for you. Okay. But with time, within a year or two, I'm earning pretty much good. I also got the chance to become a triager at different hacker one. But then with time, I found out that that job role is not that much of importance, so I left it. It was quite it was not a hectic job. I would say it was a delayed job. It was a delay kind of a job. So everyone used to say a lot of things, and that's not how you process the information. I thought of that I am much better than this or bigger than this, so I left that job. Okay, so back to the point. An interviewer wants to ask you only one thing, and that is to check your ability to whether you know how to solve a problem, irrespective of whether you're a cybersecurity person or not. They'll be providing you with problems which is related to three things: these offensive, defensive, and information management. Management will be all about how you will, like for example, there will be an SOC. The job role is of SOC, and if you want to go forward with it, you should have a great big hand over information security management section, as well as over the defensive areas. Okay, coming back again to the sections like offensive, defensive, as well as information security management, what are the things that you should learn with respect to these three things? I'll be letting you know. As you know, what are the base? The offensive security will be consisting of the job roles such as penetration tester, or there will be as a red teamer. Then it's going to be related to as a security consultant. Then there will be one more thing which is going to be then there will be a security assessor, then source code assessors. Then there are plenty of DevSecOps engineering and all those things. So DevSecOps is going to be between offensive, defensive, and information management. It's going to be, what do you say, a middleman in all those three sections. It's going to be that's what the work of a or that person is. Okay. When you go towards the defensive area, okay, you will be dealing much more with the enterprise security and infrastructure security. That will be consisting of job roles such as DevOps engineer, straightforward DevOps. If you are going to be a DevOps engineer, you need to work with the production. You need to provide with the production as to how, for example, an incident comes up, like for example, a code breaks, and Why did it broke up? Then you have to explain it to the person that yes, this was the reason, and this is how. You have to tell the server, you have to ask server people what was the issue. Then you have to tell the developer, okay, this is the problem through which it happened. You have to make sure that it runs in the most smoothest way, if I have to put it. So DevOps as a role, I would say it comes between defensive and information management section. In the second part, what you can do is go with a DFIR, Digital Forensics and Incident Response Consultant. DFIR is all about, in fact, DFIR is that job role where you can crack, the works related to government of India also. There are heavy job roles which are present there, and the job security is, government job, so it's job secured. And the best part of DFIR is you have to work with good amount of tools, with good amount of techniques. You will be recovering a lot of evidences and a lot of relatable things. Okay, so you'll be working with that. Then apart from DFIR, there is a threat intelligence area, because let's face it, any organization will have a defensive team which is much bigger than offensive team. So the defensive team is going to be the biggest one. Then comes the management, information management one, and third is the red teaming or offensive security part. Because to break the security, they need hardly 4 to 5 people. Even Google has around 6 to 10 people, not more than that, as a security engineer. The whole of Google, like just for example, if we take for San Francisco or something like this, they have around 3 to 5 people of a team. That's it. But defensive, they have around 50 to 55 people. Why they have 55 people? Because they need to have that interesting topics as to how more it can be saved. Okay, like let's just face it. Like for example, currently there is a multi-factor authentication. You have OTPs and all those things coming up. Right now, OTPs can also be taken down by a lot of the bug bounty hunters, as well as the pen testers know how to take up with the OTPs also. They can bypass that. So these security have to be taken up seriously with respect to defensive areas. So a lot of job roles are there. Uh, as a security analyst, whenever you enter, okay, one more thing. Whenever you'll be entering any organization, you won't be given directly a team. Okay, you'll be given an information security. You'll be given just a role of analyst, or as a technical analyst, anything as such. From there, you have to choose whether you want to go in offensive, defensive, or information management, depending upon what you want to do. Okay, so if I have to jot it down in most simplistic way, then in your college level, you need to have know the basics of cybersecurity. What is CIA triad or triad, whatever my English is not that much of good. And the third one is to know about what are the spaces through which a cybersecurity works in any organization. Suppose any organization, for example, best organization. Let's suppose JP Morgan and Chase came to your company, came to the university. So what you, as a cybersecurity engineer, what you have to think in that way is, okay, this is the company. What I have to see is what are the things that is which is present at Glassdoor. You have to go there, check what is the cybersecurity response, what is the salary, what is whatever the package they are giving it to you. It's okay, it's great, it's best, if I have to put it. Yeah, as right now in the recession area and all those things. So whenever the JPMC comes, they show the JD job description. They say that okay, we need a software developer. So if they need a software developer and you are in cybersecurity, what you can do is put yourself as a source code assessor. You think, okay, this is the thing. This is cybersecurity. I'm a cybersecurity person, but this JD came up as a programmer. I want to be in cybersecurity, but I don't want to leave this company. So what you have to do is to curl around, see, okay, this is the person who knows about programming. They are asking for programmer. I know about source code assessments. So whenever the interview comes up, you start with Python. Or if, for example, for me, it was always Python, whatever it is. Even if the company didn't ask me, it's always going to be Python. They asked me about C++, I don't know. They asked me about C, I don't know. Why? I had the idea about it. I didn't had a grasp over it. That's a very big thing, because it's good to be a master of one thing then a jack of all trades. It has been said, na, the jack of all trades, master of none. So you don't have to do those things. Okay, learn one thing, be on it, be firm on it, and then work over it. So during the interview, whenever the interviewer comes up to you or he asks you a question about, okay, what is the thing that you want to know in programming? This is the JD is about programming. So you have to say that I know basics of programming. You have to demonstrate about the question, but you have to make sure to the interviewer that yes, I would like to have a job in cybersecurity because I am keen to work as an analyst or work whatever the job role that you'll be providing it with respect to cybersecurity. Whenever you'll be telling this interview to the interviewer will get to have a thought process that okay, this person wants to be, for example, in a network security team. He has the idea, he knows how to do it, even if the thing has come up, like for example they want something else, they want a software developer, but they will never let you go because of your knowledge, that because of your knowledge point of view. That what happened with me also at Honeywell. When I was there, they asked me about software engineering. I said I don't know how to program. So they said, what do you know? I said, I know about cybersecurity. They said, what do you know about cybersecurity? I said, anything that you want to ask. Then they started to ask about the basics of cybersecurity because I knew in any interview, they'll be asking you the very basics of what cybersecurity is. You have to be firm with it, but not just firm with it. Like, for example, okay, I know the definition of it. No, you have to revolve around those definitions. For example, CIA triad, it is like confidentiality. So what is data security? What is confidentiality with respect to data security? Okay, what is what is accountability or availability with respect to a simple p2p network? Okay, how a pgp is working? Okay, so very basic things. Okay, you can show it to them with respect to, because many a times in interview they might ask you with respect to those things. What you say, um what do you say, story based questions. Okay, like situation based questions they do ask. Why? Because they want to check that whether you are good with the basics or not, because higher trainings they are going to provide you with, different certification they will be providing you with it. They want to check whether you have the basic ability to solve a problem. If you know programming, you'll have always a niche. You'll always be it's always going to put you over pedestal other than other people. Very basics of programming, if you know scripting, how the loops are working, how the tuples are working, how the arrays and data structures, very basic, it's going to be fun. It's going to be very smooth for you. And I'm telling you, you have to make sure of the interviewer, you have to convince that person that what do you want. Generally what happens, they ask you a question, you give them the definitive answers. You have to entertain the interviewer. You have to entertain that, yes, hello, hello sir, how are you? Fine, good, very good. Straight you have to ask. You don't have to think much about it. Okay, so there are questions. Okay, so tell us, what skills do I need to have to become chief information? Okay, so if you want to, okay, sorry to barge in, but should I continue with telling you more, or should I get started with the telling the doubts of the people? I would love to ask.
As you wish. We don't have any problem. It's actually an amazing session. We are really enjoying it. So if you would like to add something, we are good to go as well.
Okay, I would just close up. I won't take much time. Okay, then I'll take up the
As you wish.
just now.
As you wish. As you
Okay,
wish.
okay, okay. Thank you so much. Okay, so whenever you're dealing with the facts that the defense area is, or interviewer has to, sorry, I was in interview part. Yeah. So whenever an interview comes up, and you have to entertain that interview that yes, you want to do a job role. Okay, your JD is great. I want to join your company. I want to join your what do you say, your team. The problem is not with the JD. The problem is that I want to be in the company, but that's not where I can contribute the best. I can, but I want to do the best in the place where I should be. Then they'll be like, okay, first you have to satisfy the interviewer that yes, I know the programming, whatever your JD is, I respect that thing. I've cleared it, but when I'll be joining it to you, I would love to have an exposure with respect to programming as well as cybersecurity. Then they'll try to their level best. If you are pretty much good in problem solving, because see, interviewer doesn't care about your GPA. I'm telling you, they don't care about your GPA. They care about only one thing, and that is how you are going to be a profitable resource for their organization. If you're able to make it in the best way possible, that like if for example Deloitte came up to you and Deloitte asked with you like, okay, I want a resource, I want a person who can solve me problems with respect to programming as well as network as well as security and all those things. So if your resume consists of all those three things, then you are going to be the person who is going to get interviewed. But make sure that whatever you know, you put it in your resume. You don't put anything in your resume. That's the worst thing what you can do, because the moment when a person, because there are many interviews I have seen that they start to pull threads in such a bad way that your interview doesn't go good and you just start to say good things. I don't want to say good things to those interviews, and that is pretty bad experience that happens, and it's okay. That's what life is. That will always happen. Okay, what you have to be is you have to be calm and composure. Also, whenever in the university, there are a lot of companies are going to come, a lot of it. You should be clearly thankful to VIT. Okay, because VIT is one of those universities that, I never thought of that. I might get, because I was thinking of whether will I get placed because of my GPA and all those things. So there were a lot of people. Okay, and there were, at that time, I don't know whether Shriram sir is still there or not, but at that time Shriram sir were there, and he helped me out. I asked him, like, is that matter? He told me success is all yours. It only depends upon how much you are working over it. Do you work over it? I said, yeah, I do work over it. Like, then wait, be patient. If you're working with it, just be patient, nothing else. So that's what he said, okay, to me. And with time I realized till now that yes, if you're patient and if you're working on yourself, you'll get it. You'll go to that part, you'll get to the section, to the place where you want to be. You can easily go there. Okay, there is no job security role that cannot be broken up by any other person. I've seen people of I've seen bioengineers getting a cybersecurity roles. Okay, I have seen a cybersecurity engineer doing a great programming job, and he's not being a cybersecurity engineer at all. And this is a very quite different thing. I've seen electrical engineers doing great as a programmer, great as a front end developers, and different big companies, banking sector, and all those things. So anyone can clear any round. Okay, very basics you have to clear it up. You have to make sure that how the basics of all those five sections that I told you is all cleared up, these five sections only. And with respect to offensive, defensive, and information security management part, okay, I'll be sharing it with you, the roadmap. Okay, because see, the time is less. Okay, and I don't want to extend a lot of explanation unnecessarily. Okay, I would just say that you can clear the cybersecurity. You can, or cybersecurity. The very first thing, see the JD. You think that your contribution should be there in that company or not, or your time should be spent on that company or not. If you're working for a job, you can do anything. Okay, you can just cheat and just get on the track. You can do that also, because a lot of students, okay, in different universities. Now, I don't know about my university. In different universities, because my friends were there, they have been doing a lot of good stuff. They got selected. They were very happy. And the moment when the work came up to them, they were literally being suicidal. I'm telling you, suicidal. They have in fact shared it with me. Bro, please do this. I said, I don't know. I don't know about programming. I cannot do this thing. If there is something which is related to DFI or red teaming or anything related to offensive security, I might help you. A management section, anything as such, I can help you. But if you don't have that thing, I cannot help you with that. Okay, so it has been, so I have to tell it to some other people to do it, and they do it and all those things. So that's not how it's going to be. Very first thing, clear, make your mind clear as to if you want to go in cybersecurity or you want to go with respect to a company. There are two different things. Or if you are doing it for just for a job role, then I can create I'll be creating a roadmap for all the job roles with respect to offensive, defensive, and information management, and you can follow up with that thing. No problem with that at all. That will be displayed it to you, shared it with you by 14th or 15th August, Independence Day. That time only. Okay. For interview part, told you clearly. Learn the basics. Learn programming basics. That's going to help you a lot. Learn data structures, algorithm basics, very basics. Fourth, learn about those five pillars. Try to interact with interviewers. Don't just give blunt answers. Okay, and don't say overly about everything. Say basic things. The basic thing is going to be much more appreciable by interviewer. They'll be like, okay, the candidate was very much eager. You have to show it to that person that yes, you're eager to work, you're eager, you want to work. Even if the JD is not good or bad, it's okay, no problem with that. I can work with it. But with time, I'll be needing a transition. So they'll help you out with that thing with time. So these things are there. Okay. And for any particular on information security and all those things, I'll be creating the roadmap. I'll be sharing it with you. Unfortunately, it was my it was a time dilation or a time delay, not dilation, time delay, because of which I was not able to deliver you the roadmap because a lot of work is there. Currently in my company or organization, I have been working it actively. So because of that, and success is all yours, man. As Sriram sir always have said, that success is always yours if you're working hard in the most true and natural way. That's it. Everyone, and remember, everyone will get placed with respect to how much they know and how much they can deliver. Simply speaking, if you can deliver good, if you have the knowledge of whatever you have, also have great soft skills experience. Try to enlarge to speak with different people within the university campus only, so that your speaking skill or communication skill improves, because you have a lot of knowledge but you don't know how to deliver it. It's going to be a blunder. Okay, it's just like, there was a joke. It say that, please man, this chocolate is, whatever you do, don't speak in English, because he doesn't know much about it. The guy was going on a date with a girl, and when they went, the guy asked, the girl gave her a chocolate. The guy said, oh, this is that chocolate that I'm talking about. She's like, which one, name it. He said, Roger Federer. Then the woman said, idiot, it's Ferrero Rocher. Although this joke was very blunt, but I just want to say that, have a very good speaking skill. Try to bring it up so that whatever it is in here, it should be delivered through here, so that the other person can listen and can process it in the best way possible, and can make sure that yes, you are the only right candidate. 5 basic principles: good with programming, and be good with speaking skills. That's it, and you'll be able to crack the job. That's it from my side. Okay, so let's get with the chat. Okay.
Thank you so much, Fardeen Bhaiya, for this
Mhm.
session. We do have some questions. So if you would like to take the chat questions first, then we'll go to YouTube chat questions and Google form questions. Then this was a great session, Bhaiya. And yes, Sriram sir is still there. He's still
Oh,
guiding us
nice.
through the placement scene,
Nice.
and our
Nice.
placements are going on. So you're absolutely right. He always says, work hard, success is yours. He calls us lions now. I don't know if he used to call you lions as well.
We are Lions, man. Come on. We are VIT Bhopal. We are not. Come on.
Yes.
We are VITs, man.
Yeah. So I'll just start off with a question, which is actually my question. That can you enlighten the juniors as well, and me myself, that how you got into cybersecurity in the first place? Like, you came to the campus, you explored so much in the first year, right? Then what got you so interested about cybersecurity that you thought that this is something I will pursue? Because to be honest, as I'm going through my placements right now, whenever cybersecurity roles come up, the package is not that great. So money is obviously not a factor in cybersecurity. So what inspired you so much that you got into cybersecurity, and what mistakes did you initially make, and which you would want us to avoid while learning cybersecurity? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. So that's a good question. In fact, what happened with me was, when I joined VIT Bhopal, my mother saw that, because I didn't came for what you say, for the onboarding process and whatever it was. I didn't came at that time. My parents came. My mother saw that it was cybersecurity, and she was told by one of the faculties that cybersecurity is a very booming sector. My interest with respect to cybersecurity was not with term of cybersecurity. I have been doing things in a very rough patched way. Like, for example, I have been doing Wi-Fi testing. I have been doing very small things, small stuff to make myself look cooler during my initial days, like when I was in 8th, 9th standard. these things I have been doing it. I have been, routing the phones and all those things because I loved to break things. I loved to break my toys. I loved to break my father's cell phone. I bricked my cell phone. I bricked my father's cell phone. I got beaten up also in the best way possible. But it was never a complete cybersecurity thing. It was always about like, it's okay. What I'm just breaking the things. I'm doing something which can be done, but which is not being profoundly done with it. When in my first year, when I entered in the place and my university, I came up with my that time the program chair was Shishir Kumar Shandil, Dr. Shishir Kumar Shandil. So he conducted a very small, that 3 days of a seminar kind of a thing or a workshop of ethical hacking. And of course, I didn't had money, but I had to be a part of it. So what I used to do is it used to be hung up within the auditorium that it is right now, and I just snuck up from behind. I just stand there, and I was just watching it. Many people are doing different things. These are the commands. These are the things. I was like, okay, that's cool. That's a nice thing. So the very first time when I saw as a cyber security term is on that blank that yes, this is a cyber security thing which is being done by the program chair especially for it. So I was like, okay, so cyber security is a term which is being used that I have been doing it from past quite some time. So these are the things also comes up in it. And this initiation was given by Shishir Kumar Shandil sir, so I still respect him. I always respect him for sure. With time, within my second semester, I came to know there is something which is known as digital forensics. So I was very much keen over it. Like, okay, I will be doing something which is related to computers, and I'll be doing something with the stuff which is related to pen drives, and I'll be doing a lot of stuff which is related to forensics, and it will be helpful. We'll be learning with cool tools and techniques. And I was doing it, but some or the other way, I was like, no man, it's okay. I'm doing something, but this is a great thing, but this is not meant for me. In my second year, I came to know a great mentor of mine. I'm still connected with him. His name is Dr. Ajit Kumar. He came up in the university, and he changed a lot of people's mind, I would say, at that time. So he told me about there is a thing known as Fardeen, that if you hack in other companies and you tell them that, okay, these are the things through which you can do it. This is the thing through which you deal with it. So they'll be providing you with some amount of money or monetary rewards. I was like, really? He's like, yeah, you'll be getting it. I'm like, okay, I have to check it out with that. So I started my research, and that research point, I would say, was the point, my third semester in second year, first semester, that was the main part through which I started my cyber security complete journey as a documented way, if I have to put it. And that was the moment where I realized that, okay, this offensive security is my thing. But in third year, when I came up, I came to know with research and all those things, whatever I'm doing, that for an organization, the thing is completely different. They just need a person who knows how to solve a problem with respect to cybersecurity or with respect to programming. They don't care about you know anything or not. Okay, so you as a first person, you have come up in the first year. Who are the people who in the first year? Whatever the subjects are being given to you, okay, maintain a decorum of those or of the grades, as well as learn equally everything, but learn basic things of tech part in the most profound way, in the most best way possible. So for example, to put it, then in the first semester it's going to be around C programming. Learn the basics of C programming. What I used to do, what my friend used to do, he's in Microsoft. Okay, so what he used to do, he's working in the security authentication part. So he used to do is he used to just turn the programming language. That time it was Yashwant Khan letter C. Okay, we used to use it. So he used to take up from the back of the questions, all the questions. He used to take it from, like, for example, there are back sections of file input output. There are sections of structures and all those things with respect to C programming. He started to study those things first, and he didn't get anything of it. He didn't learn anything. Then he moved to other sections, and then finally back to first section. What this made is it made a correlation with him. Like, he was like, okay, this was the programming thing. I learned, I didn't get it. Okay, previous thing, if I'll be learning it, I might get it. I might get it. So the very first thing what he learned, he got to learn, like, okay, fine. This is the thing that I want to learn. So the next thing he learned, the next thing he learned, and then he started to, and at last he able to get to know about the file input output. With respect to cybersecurity, I would say whatever the subjects are being taught to you with in the program in the university, learn it. Learn it. Learn the resources that have been provided it to you. Because the moment you'll be learning those things, it's going to be a very deep impact during the time of your interview. And I'm telling you, these things are going to be the basis of the cybersecurity things. Because see, your professors are doing their level best. I'm telling you. At first, when we were also the students, we were like, "Arey, you're not teaching us that those things. Arey, man, these things are we know those things." But whenever you'll be put up in the situation of those basic things, those things, na, and if you don't know the basics of how those problems can be solved, then it's going to be a very tough thing. So the subject that is being provided to you by the council or by the university, learn those things, but don't be situated to those subjects only. Like for example, there is cyber threat analysis kind of a subject there. It was. So what is cyber threat analysis? There is a RCA, root cause analysis kind of a thing. So what is RCA? RCA comes in information security management section, and as well as in the defensive section, as well as in the secure SSDLC, secure SDLC life cycles. So you will be having a very big hand when you'll be having an RCA. If you know about the 5 steps of RCA, you'll be able to solve a problem. So if I have to jot it down in the most simplistic way, learn the subject that is being provided to you, but whatever the subject that has been taught to you, go at night or go at evening, whatever or if you are studying from home, after your college gets over or college time gets over, go to YouTube, go to Google, check what it is. What is the new term that has been coined out by the professor? See, I know if you're online, it's very less people give importance to the subjects. I know to the lectures also, and I get it, no problem. But the person who will be, literally researching and learning those terms, basic small terms and all those things, that's going to give a very big impact. Okay, so again, jotting it down. Whatever the subject that is being provided to you, learn those subject which is with respect to cybersecurity, as well as research about what are the research 3 things with respect to those things. What are the job roles that can be provided me with to or provided with to me with respect to those to the subject that I've learned or the term that I've learned. Then what is the annual package? And the third one, how can I bring a new thing within that section? That is going to be a research topic for you, for yourself. Okay, so that's it. You don't have to do much of the very big things. That's it.
Thank you so much, Bhaiya. Sama, you had some questions. Go ahead, you can ask.
Thank you, Bhaiya, for this amazing session. There are actually so many questions people are asking. So, Parth Sana is asking how much average package when they share from cybersecurity. But I guess you would know this.
Okay, that's a very good question. No, this is a very logical question. And come on, at the end, everyone wants at the end, money does matter. Come on. Okay, if it doesn't matter, then why see any career pathway you choose? It's because of 2 reasons. Either it's money or either it's self motivation. Okay, that's it. Like, okay, yeah, this is the thing which is very interesting, very intriguing. I want to try. Like, choose it. Okay, okay. Whenever you are moving with the facts, the very first thing. With respect to cybersecurity, there are 3 sectors. Okay, there are 3 sectors that comes up with respect to packages. One is the service based, which consists of banks and all those things. Also, it consists of those top 4 MNCs, that Cognizant, TCS, Infosys, and Wipro. These 4 comes in generally in the decent package people. Okay, so it comes between 4.25 to 6.65 LPA, means lakhs per annum, but it depends upon how much you know. For example, if you know more about it, you'll be offered more. If you have the more idea about what the job is, you might be getting a less package, but next year your hike is going to be next level. If I have to put it, it does happen. I've seen, if you have right knowledge and right contribution. Then it comes up with the infrastructure or consultancy based companies, the top big 4, if I have to put it. the KPMG, Deloitte, PwC, and EY, those generally offer between 7 to 9, depending upon how much or fresher or a new person should be given. If you are experienced person, you'll be getting a lot more. And third, and the most important thing is the PBCs, which is product-based companies such as Google, Microsoft, Amazon, all the FANG or Nagama companies, if you have to put it, NAGMA. So those companies are going to provide you with the packages which is between 11 or 10 to, I guess, 23 or 25, or sometimes 23 or 25 with respect to cybersecurity. Also, they might give you more than that also, but not less than 10 lakh. They don't provide, because you're working in a product based company. Product based companies are always in a good way. They'll be paying you in a very good way. So this is the bracket. Okay, but remember that a lot of money is not a good thing also. Okay, I have seen a lot of people earning more. Like a friend of mine, a great friend of mine, he's working in a startup. He's earning huge. He's like earning next level huge than me what I am. But he works like 10 hours, and to home also, when he comes up, he's working there because he's working in a startup. He's getting huge money, but he doesn't have peace of mind. So you have to balance those two things. You should have a peace of mind also, as well as you should be earning good, so that you'll be progressing good in the next level of your job career and everything. Or if you want to learn anything or do masters, anything as such, you have to go through those things. So this is the money that you can get as a fresher whenever you are going in companies. There are other companies also like ABED or Bain and Corporation, Bain and Company. They are going to, or BlackRock, which is a set-based company. Any person will try to go there because they're going to pay you next level thing. But you should be a problem solver person with respect to cybersecurity. So they'll be providing you. Money is never going to be a problem for a person who is learning cybersecurity, and I'm telling you, it's never going to be a problem. You will always get money. That's all from my side. Answer the question.
Thank you so much, Bhaiya. There's another question from Rudram. So here is the question. Currently in third year with lack of knowledge in coding and moderate knowledge in cybersecurity, what things we should do to land a job in cybersecurity?
Okay, you have very low programming language. Okay, you have decent amount of security. Okay, so you should be targeting the job of in defensive as well as information security management section, not an offensive one, because in for offensive one you'll be needing quite a lot of the knowledge hunger and all those things. It does matter. Okay, not everyone will be getting the job of red team or anything as such. Okay, you should be aiming for the job role which is related to security analyst, the very first part. Okay, that is going to be mastering three big skills. First, you should have the basic knowledge of whatever the cybersecurity is all about. You can learn it through Java T Point. They have enormous amount of resources. Second, they'll be providing you with the work of SOC level 1, SOC analyst, whatever you say. Whenever you'll be in a company as a security analyst, anything as such, if you have least amount of knowledge, they'll be giving you the SOC analyst part. So you will be inspecting the traffic that is going on. Okay. And SOC analyst is not a bad job role. It's a very great job role. It pays you even huge with a right amount of experience, like 3 to 5 experience. You'll be getting per month with tag deduction around 1.85 lakh per month. You'll be getting it if you are right with the knowledge, because most of the people, they don't know how to inspect a log. They don't know how to find an issue within the log. What were the change monitors that have been done within a security or within a transfer of any packet or transfer of any communication. They don't know about it. Okay, so aim for security analyst section. You don't have to be very much good with it. You should know basics of SOCs as to how they are working it, how the packet inspection is done, what are the tool sets related to SOCs. And you should have a decent hand over Excel, because whatever you'll be presenting or preparing it with, you'll be preparing it with respect to Excel. Okay, so learn Microsoft Excel. That's going to work in SOC in most of the companies. So that's all. That's it. That can be done with least amount of programming language. That's it. Nothing much. That's all from here.
Thank you so much, Bhaiya, for explaining it in such a nice way. Another question is from Akshat Singh. How did you decide that DevSecOps is for you, and how can we decide if we have to go to the red team or blue team?
Okay. As for this comes up with respect to interest comes up with respect to what you see. There are a lot of people who will be sharing your reels, memes, like, yeah, I clicked one button and things got hacked. There is a black terminal that consists of green commands and a hoodie and all those things. That's what ethical hacker is. No, that's not how generally it happens. People do wear hoodie because we like to wear hoodie. That's it. That's a different thing. Coming up to the point that whether you should be following the DevSecOps area or not, DevSecOps, I chose it because of the fact that in the sector in which I am working on, the exposure of red teaming was quite less. So whenever you're going in a banking sector, they are all about defense. They don't want to. They know that their hardware is being secured in the server side areas, so they don't need you to work in breaking the security. There are teams, but it will be difficult for you to break in. So what I generally thought of that, okay, I don't know much of programming, but I know basics of scripting. I can use scripting languages so that I can help people out within the teammates. I saw that there is a thing known as SDLC, Software Development Lifecycle. There I found out that yes, there is something which is known as SDLC, Secure Software Development Lifecycle. There I can be a contributive person. Then I came to know about a process known as DevOps, where a developer and system engineers are there, but they don't know how to connect or have a good communication with each other. I found out like what is the issue with the communication. Then I found out that not every programming language is being learned or known by server areas. No, they just know push button, delete, done. That's it. They know a lot of things, but with respect to their job roles, I thought, okay, this is not the thing that they should be doing. I'm like, okay, fine, no problem. I'm going to be a person. So DevOps is generally a middle person who will be translating the server people, the people, whatever the servers are, like issues that the servers are having. Then they'll be moving the developers. They'll be doing, okay, these are the things the developers know. These are the things that server people know. I'll be translating the things with respect to them, or I'll be asking at certain access over the certain tool that will be helping the continuous chain of CI and CD, means integration and deployment. Okay, whenever you'll be coming up in an organization, okay, you have to deal with an SDLC because everything is working in software, because you'll be working in the tech field, so it's always going to be software development. How I chose DevSecOps engineering, because I saw that I can be that middleman, that I can help the developers area because I know basics of scripting. I can help the servers area because I have some experience with respect to Linux. I can help them out with being a middle person. Coming back to the question of whether how can you become a red teamer or blue teamer, it all depends upon one thing, that is interest of what you see, and second, a continuous learning thing, and that thirst that yes, I want to learn this thing. Like for example, I wanted to become a very great red teamer. The problem was the company in which I wanted to be in doesn't, they do support red teaming, but I cannot crack it. Okay, that's the thing that I told you before. For the blue teaming, there are experienced people that know much more about, like, more than how can I can grasp. So I was like, okay, fine, no problem. I cannot do that also. Then I found out that okay, as a starting person, I can be in a DevOps area. I can move with it. Okay, with time I'll go, with one by one steps I will go, not drastically I'll go just like that. I cannot do that because it's an organization. Everything works with a process. Okay, so in that way I correlated my interest with respect to how can I contribute to an organization with respect to how much I want to earn. So interest plus contribution means skills, plus like skills means whatever I want to discuss and whatever the things I want to deal with it. And the third part was how much I'm getting for my contribution. Like for example, how much I'm earning. So these three things we made me sure that okay, DevSecOps area is a part where, or DevOps is the area where I can contribute to it. Currently, I'm in the DevSecOps area. Previous year, I was in a DevOps area. So that's it. That's how you deal with your interest, because whatever you see is not real. Okay, all the time. Sometimes it's real, sometimes it's not. Sometimes they say that okay, I got 1,000. Like for example, I've seen in the bug bounty sector, I've seen that many people say that $250 bounty. and a fellow hunter found out that the same number of report or the same ID of that report doesn't exist. Only they just use the inspect element and they just renamed it, or renamed the amount of the bounties they get, or whatever the things they get. Apart from, I'm telling, apart from the organization, if I have to put it in a way. So you have to see the interest, then you have to build the skills, then you have to see your relative skills with respect to interest as well as the money you can get. These three things are going to tell you whether you should go for red teaming or blue teaming, or you should go for DevSecOps. Question to the answer. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Another question is from Mayur Pandya. I'm working on my upcoming project. It's like my own company in which they provide the VAPT as a service. So actually, one of the cell in my university will give me incubation support and funds to start my company. Now I'm not that much good who to do PT on application like Android desktop. Now I want to hire or want to make a community or team where everyone is capable to do WAP. So how I need to approach to find out best people?
The best part to approach any person for a particular role is you have the best tool, which is LinkedIn. You should know how to use a LinkedIn. Okay, so there is a complete guide of using a LinkedIn. You can check it out over Google. There is present how to use a LinkedIn. The very first thing, everyone is present on three platforms right now: Twitter, LinkedIn and Instagram. These three places, everyone is present. And the people who are not present in these three sections, then YouTube is also a place. You can push in the ads and do all those things. But if you don't have that much amount of funding also that you don't want to spend and you want to things for free, then I would definitely tell you to, if you are from a, if you are a if you are a person like, okay, I am a startup, I want to create a VAPT team. I don't know, I don't have any idea. So for that VAPT part, I would suggest you to go forward with the LinkedIn. Second, approaching with the Twitter, and third with Instagram. These three are very powerful tools. Apart from that, if you want to build a team, you have to make sure there are three process. One is to get to know that, or just two process, or whether these are the ethical people or not. That's very much important. There are a lot of times where people take money and just go. They don't even care about what is you are building the company. Now that's not his problem. He'll be just doing a job and he'll take it. It will take just the money that whatever he'll be earning through you. So I would suggest you use LinkedIn. There is a complete guide of using a LinkedIn. Go through it. You'll get to know the step by step of how to just put your job role appointments and all those things in the top area. Apart from that, you can put it over Glassdoor. That's another place that's going to push you, or Naukri.com. You can push it through hardly around 500 to 600 rupees if you pay it, or depending upon how much you want to pay, they're going to push your things, or whatever your into your ask of the role is. It will be pushed to a lot of people who are related with it. So that's how you can do it. There are a lot of other points also, but this seminar is much more like about how to get started with the cybersecurity. It's much more like beginner friendly. Hope they answer the question.
Thank you so much, Bhaiya. Another question is from Lokant. I have fundamental knowledge of both defensive and offensive field of cybersecurity. Right now, I'm confused on which thing should I focus more. Which field has more opportunity for freshers, as I'm struggling to find internship or entry level job. There are very few opportunities for freshers from what I've seen so far.
Okay, you see, in India or in any developing country, cybersecurity is always going to be, it's a tough thing to crack in, because of the fact that people need experienced people. They don't want a fresher to be in it. There are hardly some startups, or there are some companies that have been nearly established, and they are doing great in it. Great, like seriously great. Okay, and they'll be hiring you because they have a huge, package and all those things. Coming to your dilemma of whether you should be in a blue team or whether you should be offensive and defensive, both having, which you should pursue. Think of it about a thing that what is that section for which you can just leave your food also. Like for example, your mother called you for eating, or for example, you get a moment where the people said, or your friend said, let's go for let's go for a tea, or let's go to hang out with different people, or just look around. and you leave them, simply leave them like, okay, no, bro, I have some work to do. That work should be either offensive or defensive. You have to you have to be in that situation if you want to choose whether you want to be in offensive and defensive area. Okay, if you know, if you can leave your buddies, your friends, your everything for that particular time being, when you'll be learning about that one thing, whether it's offensive or defensive, then that is your job role. Simple. You can do that for, if you, another way if I have to put it, then what is that one job role that you can do it for free for a lifetime, or for a certain amount of lifetime? If there is one job role, or is there one section that if you want to break the security and tell them that yes, this is how it has been broken up, and they'll be like, okay, thank you, and they'll be paying you with it, and you'll be satisfied with that thing. With that thing, if you're satisfied, that this satisfaction is very much important thing. If you can do that, then that is your job role. You don't have to go for any software developer, because see, there will be a lot of people who will be earning a lot from you, a lot. But two things: peace of mind, and satisfaction. If you get that in any job role, money is never going to be a problem. You will be earning more than you will be even imagining if you'll be continuously learning. Okay. So if it is about, if it's offensive security, you can leave your friends, family, and everything with respect to that, and you get like for that particular timing, not completely. Don't be that much ridiculous. Okay. For that time being, if you can leave them like, okay, I'll come back after 10 minutes. You be focused on that thing. If you'll be learning those things, so that is the job role, or that is the thing that you should be working on currently. That's it. Whether it's offensive or defensive, it doesn't matter. Hope you answered the question.
Uh, Thank you so much, Priya. This is the last question. It's from Ayush Juneja. Currently, I'm in my third year, and as of now, I have seen that those immersions conducted by the college are more concerned to DSA. I always wanted to work in an offensive team. So, should I be more concerned with DSA?
Okay, let's break this myth for all the people. Data structures and algorithm is your friend. If I have to put it in a way, it's going to be very much helpful when you'll be dealing with offensive security. Very much. In fact, programming, I also want to go away with programming and all those things. The problem was, see, the very first thing, you are not learning DSA and data structures algorithm because you think that it's not that what you want to do. The problem is that it's not the learning curve, which anything as such. I don't know. I just know one thing, that if you learn data structures algorithm, you're going to be much more far away than in security or in any organization. In any organization, if I have to put it in more simplistic way, data structures and algorithm is all about how a software or a product is being enacted using algorithms and data structures. You'll be able to analyze how the product is being made with respect to, if you have the idea of DSA, you'll be able to solve a lot of problems with respect to with the use of Jigsaw, if I have to put it in a way. A lot of problems. Okay, divide and conquer is going to be your friend. That algorithm, not connotation. Okay, that algorithm, that is going to be very much helpful for you, very much. So if all the people who are in this what to say, in this whole session, DSA is going to be a friend, always going to be a friend. If you don't learn, if you have no idea about DSA, and if you don't want to go in DSA, if you like, no, I don't want to get and be in a DSA, and if you want to get a job, you will get a job. You will get the job. If you'll be concentrated only in offensive security, you will get a job. Getting a job or cracking a job is not an issue in today's time. The problem is your learning curvature should match with respect to whatever the job role is. That's it. The job role should match your offensive. See the market. Currently, see the market like, okay, there are people who are working in offensive security. The problem is not with offensive security. The problem is the job role is very less. Are you the elite 1% or the like 10% people who are great in offensive security? If not, then try to learn about, okay, what are the things that I can do? Okay, I have time. I can become 10%. Right now I am not. So what you have to do is think, okay, if I learn data structures algorithm, I learn basics of programming, I'll be able to crack a job. If I'll be able to crack a job, so within a company, there will be a security team. And when there are security team, there will be a security roles. If there are security roles, if I'll be having a niche of data structures algorithm, programming as well as the main core offensive security area, they will quickly take you as a what do you say, whatever, as a pen tester, if I have to put it in a way. Or if I have to put it much more simplistic, much more like most simple way, then DSA is always going to be your friend. If you learn it, it's going to put you forward. If you don't learn it, it's fine. But you are going to lose a lot of opportunities. That is for sure. A lot of people have got great job offers, even if they don't know data structures algorithm, and it's fine. No problem with that. But if you learn a new thing and you use it with respect to security, it's always going to be a plus point. I would suggest you learn the data structures, learn to use the data structures with respect to programming and with respect to whatever the university is teaching you, and how you can implement that data structures knowledge with respect to the cybersecurity area of offensive security. For example, you are able to break a code. Like for example, just for example, it's a cross-site scripting. So you are able to break a JavaScript code by by manipulating a parameter that is not being sanitized in any way. Okay, when you break the JavaScript code, you are able to perform the activities that that web application is not entitled to do, but it's still doing it. Why does this happen? This happened. Now you have to correlate that thing with respect to data structures. Why it happened? It happened because the data structure that has been provided or that has been used in that programming language or in that particular function doesn't enclose or doesn't specify anything that is related to input sanitization with respect to the parameter sanitization. They don't do it. Which data structure or which algorithm can be very much helpful to identify or to mitigate this thing? Okay, even if you're an offensive security person, you should know how a thing can be solved. That is going to put you in the third stage or third level of security engineer, because at the end, even if you're breaking it, and even if you're telling them, and if you put more efforts, like, okay, I told you how it is broken, I told you how it can be done, now I'll be telling you how much easier way or easiest way the things it can be solved. If that's how it can be done, voila, it's the best thing. You don't have to think much about it. Simply speaking, you don't have to think much about it. It's going to be the DSA is going to be the fun part for you. If you are a learner, it's always going to be fun. If you are much more inclined towards offensive security, it's okay, no problem with that. But make sure that the offensive security thing, that whatever you are dealing, whatever you are doing with it, whatsoever it is, okay, make sure that your delivery with respect to that organization should be ample. It should be on the for that purpose of that organization's safety security. That's it. If you want to learn DSA, learn it. If you don't learn it, you still can crack a job. But if you learn it and then do it, you can tell them that yes, there is an aspect of DSA also with respect to security, and you can share it with them. And that's going to be a plus point for you. Hope the answer to the question.
Thank you so much, Bhaiya. This was an amazing session. It can't be expressed in words how helpful this whole seminar was for all of us. Mr. Ahmed, you surely cleared many minds today and provided us with insights that were much needed. In the beginning, this field was an overwhelming sector for all of us, and now we have adequate knowledge to ace this field of cybersecurity. The knowledge you shared tonight has undoubtedly equipped us with the tools to be more vigilant and proactive in securing our application and web services. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It was a great experience. It the very first thing, thank you all to be like, okay, fine, you want to learn something new, because I want to share a lot of whatever I learn personally. I want to share it with you all so that it goes with the plan. Okay, so everyone should learn and should have the right knowledge about the things. So that's how I think believe that, see, everything as a learning perspective, it's always free. You should know how to research it. Okay, so it should be always available to you all, and you are my juniors, man, come on. You should be placed in the next best companies. I would definitely want you all to be placed in great companies, and I believe that the professors are doing their level best with respect to the university. Okay, previously I used to think of that, no, what's the professors, they are doing their part, they're doing those things. No, they do their level best. It's just with time you will realize that yes, the professors have helped you, and you will realize that yes, these are the people whom you should always remember. So thanks to the university that called me virtually.
Yeah,
Thank you, sir.
before we let you go and before we close this session down, personally, I'm very thankful to you because I know how busy you are and still you took out time. I know that how much you wanted to do this even better later, but sadly we could not postpone it further. Uh, I can assure you that when we will soon have our AppSec Day, OWASP AppSec Fest, we will have, and we would love if you could join us then physically for a day to teach us about more cybersecurity. And before we let close this session, I would request Dr. Saravanan sir to say to close this session down with some closing remarks. Um, thank you so much.
Thank you, Fardeen. It's a very wonderful session and informative to all. Soon expecting to be here in the campus for the some of the insightful as well as the hands-on experience to the students, how the industry as well as and everything. So we are expecting soon you in the campus. Thank you. Thank you.
I would just like love to come to the university, but it should not just conflict the organization, the days of working. Other than that, I'll be happy to be there. Not a problem.
Yes, yes. Thank you, team, for entire this smooth conduction of the program as well as the organizing the program. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, and thank you so much, Bhaiya, for taking some time. And thank you so much, sir. And our co-coordinator is here as well, Dr. Prabhu Khanna, sir. We thank you as well for coming today, and especially Tuhin as well, Tuhin, for arranging Bhaiya. It's great to meet you. Great to meet you, Bhaiya. And it's really a shame that we can never meet on campus before due to COVID. And I hope that being our alma mater, you keep guiding us this way and keep showing up for our further webinars as well. Everyone, thank you
Always,
so much.
always.
Summer, you can close the show.
Yeah. Thank you, Baya, for joining us today. This would not have been possible without the support and supervision of our faculty coordinator, Dr. Sarvanandi, and our assistant coordinator, Dr. G. Prabhu Khanna. We thank you, sir, for being such an amazing mentor and guide. We owe you a big thanks for making this event a success. With your hard work and dedication, OWASP will be determined to give the best to the students of VIT Bhopal. A huge thanks to our audience for joining us and being a part of this webinar. It wouldn't have been possible without your support. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.